They are accusing Democrats of saying we spend too much. For anyone that wants to entertain that thought,
but it is in fact our Democratic colleagues who prefer to maintain their massive subsidies for the elites and the wealthy. When was the last time you were thankful for $32 trillion in debt, $100,000 almost for every man, woman, and child in America? Anybody thankful for $32 trillion in debt?
The chamber falls silent as the confrontation begins. Chip Roy rises, his voice already carrying the weight of frustration millions of Americans feel every single day. He is there to expose what he calls a catastrophic pattern of lies, deception, and reckless spending that has drained the wallets of hard-working Americans while rewarding bureaucrats, elites, and politically favored industries. As he speaks, his tone slices through the room. The Democratic narrative claiming former President Biden lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion and will cut another $3 trillion by eliminating wasteful spending collapses under scrutiny. Roy makes it clear, the real wasteful spenders, the real defenders of corrupt subsidies, the real supporters of bloated government expansion, sit across the aisle. He calls out Adam Schiff, AOC, and the entire Democratic caucus, accusing them of pushing massive subsidies for wealthy corporations, weaponizing agencies against citizens, pretending to protect Americans while simultaneously driving the nation into $32 trillion of debt. Let's dive in.
They are accusing Democrats of saying we spend too much. For anyone that wants to entertain that thought, I ask you to think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them, that their Social Security check was too high, that teachers are paid too much. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?
Another quote. President Biden already lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion. They say his budget would cut the deficit by another $3 trillion by eliminating wasteful spending on big oil and pharma, we're told. But it is in fact our Democratic colleagues who prefer to maintain their massive subsidies for the elites and the wealthy in their so-called Inflation Reduction Act just last year. My friend from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, said, quote, "I ask you, think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?" I'll say it. I'll say it right here. I don't want the government doing most of the things that the government is doing to interfere with the ability of the American people to carry out their lives. Federal, state, and local. When was the last time you had a bureaucrat show up and you said, "Oh joy, thank you. I'm really glad there's a bureaucrat here"? When was the last time you were thankful for $32 trillion in debt, $100,000 almost for every man, woman, and child in America? Anybody thankful for $32 trillion in debt? Anybody? Anybody thankful for a border that's wide open being exploited by cartels while fentanyl comes in and kills our children? Everybody thankful for that Department of Homeland Security that doesn't actually secure the homeland? Everybody thankful for an FBI that went after Scott Smith and labeled him a domestic terrorist for daring to defend his daughter in a school board meeting because she was assaulted in a bathroom? Anybody thankful for the IRS knocking on your door, auditing the poor and the minorities 3 to 5 times more? People thankful for that? Are you thankful for the EPA or the Department of Interior that sent a man to prison because he had some ponds on his ranch in Montana? We have a government that is weaponized against the American people and is undermining our liberties, and they want more of it. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle want more government. They want more taxes. They want more spending. They want more bureaucrats knocking on your door.
In the end, Chip Roy stands as one of the few voices in Congress who refuses to bow to the political theater, the scripted talking points, and the polished lies that have become all too common in Washington. His words cut through the noise because they are grounded in reality, a reality every American can see and feel for themselves. While Democrats insist on repeating claims about deficit reduction, responsible spending, and government efficiency, Roy exposes the truth with clarity and conviction. He speaks for the mother paying double at the grocery store, for the rancher being targeted by regulators, for the parent labeled a threat simply for protecting their child, and for the hardworking families crushed under trillions of dollars in debt they never asked for. Chip Roy reminds the nation that government is supposed to serve the people, not rule over them, and he is not afraid to confront those who have forgotten that sacred responsibility. Where others offer excuses, Roy delivers facts. Where others defend bureaucratic expansion, he demands accountability. Where others hide behind slogans, he challenges the very policies that strengthen government power while weakening individual freedom. His message is urgent and unapologetic. America does not need more taxes, more spending, or more federal intrusion. America needs freedom, transparency, and leaders who will fight for the people rather than the political class. Chip Roy's takedown of Adam Schiff, AOC, and their Democratic colleagues was not just a moment in a hearing, it was a reminder that integrity and courage still have a place in Congress. He proved that one determined voice, armed with truth and driven by principle, can expose hypocrisy, challenge false narratives, and stand up for millions who feel unheard. In this fight for fiscal sanity and government accountability, Chip Roy is not backing down, and the American people are better for it.